Hello guys, welcome to Sports Geek. I'm your host Rishabh aka Sports Geek. So today we are going to preview and predict the Leicester City game against Arsenal tomorrow. Leicester City are going to play Arsenal tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Today Nikhil and Rupin will join me to discuss what are the chances of both the teams of winning this fixture and who will win this fixture. All three of us will be sharing our predicted score. So waiting for Rupin and Nikhil to join in so that we can continue this live. So telling you couple of stats about the two teams. Arsenal are currently on 11th position with 34 points. Yeah. And Leicester on the other hand are on third position with 49 points. Manchester City on the other hand have won today again. They have defeated West Ham 2-1 and right now Manchester City are on top of the league, 62 points from 26 games. If Leicester wins against Arsenal tomorrow, they will be somewhere around 10 points different between Manchester City and Leicester. So I'm waiting for Rupin and Nikhil to join in. Apart from this, talking about the two teams, Leicester City have won three out of their last five league games. They have lost only one game, while Arsenal, on the other hand, have lost three of their last five Premier League fixtures. And coming to the performance of the two teams in the recent match, the last match that these two teams faced was Europa League. Europa League, Arsenal defeated Benfica 3-2, while Leicester City got knocked out of the Europa League as they lost to Slavia Prague 2-0. And I'm waiting for Nikhil to join in. I might have. So coming to the match, it is going to be an interesting fixture, especially against Arsenal and Leicester City. Leicester City are playing well, uh, but hi Nikhil.
Hi.
So there was little bit issue of the network. Uh,
Okay, okay, no
Vasu,
worries.
you are sending me request to come into this live, but currently we are full, so you can send in your questions, whatever question you have. We'll discuss it here. Waiting for Rupin also to join soon.
Yeah, you go ahead. Please go ahead, Rishabh.
Yeah, so what do you think? Arsenal versus Leicester. Hi, Rupin.
Hi both.
Hello, Rupin.
Hello.
Hello. So I'll start with Nikhil first. Do you think
Yes.
Arsenal have a chance to defeat Leicester as they? Yeah, yeah, Rupin.
I think your voice is echoing.
Yeah,
Okay,
slightly.
Try with the earphone, maybe it will work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is also echoing.
My voice is okay?
Yeah,
I don't
yours
think
is
so.
okay.
It's okay.
One minute. Can you hear me now?
Slightly better, but it's okay.
I think it's the issue with live maybe.
No worries, no worries. Let's go ahead.
So what do you think, Nikhil? Like Leicester lost to Slavia Prague. They are knocked out of the Europa League. But in Premier League, they are playing quite well. So
I don't know.
Arsenal have a chance to defeat them.
I got a feeling when I was watching the match, Brendan Rodgers wasn't going for the win, that's for sure, because he rested his form player, Harvey Barnes, plus Ricardo
Yeah,
Pereira. was playing very out of position, like right winger, and he benched both these guys. And only Vardy played like 90 minutes. So I think they're not too concerned about the Europa League. They thought that maybe more matches, more chances of players getting injured or players getting tired. So their main focus will be on Premier League. I think they're going for the top four, and in the return leg they won 1-0. I think they already beaten us, so I think it will be a great fight. Let's see. Let's hope for a win, but I can't say for sure because Leicester is a very unpredictable team. You never know which Leicester is going to turn out. Either they are going to score like 5 goals or they are going to hit for like 5 goals. You don't know. I mean,
Also, like Leicester and Premier League are completely different. They have been better than Arsenal if we look in like couple of seasons back. Last season also they finished on fifth. Like in the last they dropped. Right now they are on third. So they have been performing well in the Premier League. But the last time Arsenal went to Leicester's home, they defeated them 2-0. It was back in 2020. So what do you think, Rupin? Does Arsenal stand a chance against Leicester in the Premier League?
Yeah, of course we stand a chance. I think it's an Arsenal fan can't say that we don't stand a chance against Leicester City. But the game that you were talking about, I think it was EFL Cup, which I don't know how seriously they had taken it back then, and it's they will really be going
not
for
at all.
the league now because they are out of Europa, and that's the only thing that they will be focusing on. As you said, they will not want to finish out of the top five again, top four again, and yeah, it's the only thing about Arsenal which is concerning is that Arteta might want to rotate quite a few players because like people like
Saka will be
Saka and
rested, I think.
ESR, yeah,
Yeah.
they are like really overworked right now. So it will be interesting to see how we manage it. So yeah, it will be a tough game.
So if Saka is benched, like take an example, if Saka is benched, he has been one of the best players of Arsenal currently. Like Aubameyang wasn't performing that great in the recent games, and it was Saka who was saving Arsenal again and again, along with Smith. So what do you think? Like if Saka doesn't play tomorrow, how much it is going to hurt Arsenal?
I think it's going to hurt real bad. I mean, he's been a star player, like informed player, like right from the very start. He has most assist and the goal involvements are the most. But I think we have Pepe. Pepe is a unique character. I don't know which Pepe is going to turn out, but he has been performing good. I mean, he has been better recently. So let's see. He is going to be rested.
Yeah.
Saka, but I don't know. I don't know. His name, Lilian Pepe.
He will definitely.
So Venkat is asking, there is a crazy Saliba incident going on and Arsenal's name is getting into it.
Okay, I don't know about this
Will,
incident. Is it related to as I don't know. I have no
I'm not
idea about
aware
this.
about.
I think it was that video, but it has been a while since that.
Yeah, it has been a while. Like he said some nasty things about Tata, right? About that video?
Yeah, and did you see the video which was going around on social media?
Not really.
It was.
You should
Watch
watch
it now. I
it.
can't say it here. Just watch it. It is sort of.
I will do that.
It's not great what he did. It was like he was very young with the French national team, and some weird shit was going on in the dressing room. Just watch. But even that video, it's been a while since it came out. I don't know if anything recent has happened.
Yes, he has been doing great
Arsenal,
recently, by the way. He has not been dribbled past in his last, right from when he is starting for Nice. He has been dribbled past even once.
Yeah, he was player of the season in his first, player of the month in his first month with them. So yeah, I think that league really suits him too.
Yeah.
coming to the game, so Leicester might play 5 players midfield. Do you think Arsenal's midfield is that strong that they will tackle that 5 players midfield?
Five players midfield. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Madison won't be
They
there.
are going to play 4-5-1. That's what like the news is coming in as of
Madison
now.
won't
So
be
like I
playing,
don't
right?
know.
Madison won't be playing. I think Perez will replace him,
Madison
or
is out.
Harvey.
So yeah, Madison is out. Fofana is out. Justin is
Yeah,
out.
yeah. No, four defenders are there.
So
I think this guy
yeah,
Ricardo Pereira will play right winger. Left
yeah.
winger is Harvey Barnes. Then striker will be Jamie Vardy. 3 plus 4, 37 plus 1, 8 plus 3 midfield.
So Rupin, I have a question for you. In the recent games, we have seen Arsenal defense hasn't been that strong. They have conceded goals. So are you worried about Valdi playing against your weak defense?
I
Always,
am worried
always.
about Vardy in general, irrespective of the defense, because he clearly loves playing against us. I think him and Kane, they just have a field day whenever they are
He
playing
has
against
a
us.
Vardy is like 9
In
goals
terms,
against us.
yeah, I think Kane has some
That's
11 and Vardy
insane.
has 9. It's ridiculous.
So like
So
Like
I
they,
I
think
think
they
Vardy is the biggest threat for you because he has already scored 12 goals, and even after coming out of injury recently, he is scoring goals.
yeah, and I think Arteta will play Mari and Holding again to rest Gabriel and Luis. And both of them are slightly slow, which is always a threat against Vardy.
Vardy.
But I also think that our defense has actually been decent this season compared to other seasons. So Tierney might play because he has just come back in, so they might want to give him more minutes, and probably Cedric on the right. That back four doesn't worry me as much. Like they have been quite decent recently, but I am very worried going forward because sometimes we just seem to not create any chances, and if we create chances, we just don't. We just it's as if our players forget how to score a goal once they are in a position to score a goal. So the attack is something that I'm more worried about going into this game right now.
Yeah. So Nikhil,
Yes.
Madison is out. He has scored 8 goals and provided 5 assists this season. So that's a big relief for Arsenal team and Arsenal fan because Madison not being there, only Vardy being there, that partnership is not there. So
Okay,
it's
so
a big relief.
I was watching Leicester's last game and I saw a very unique thing. So what happened was Ricardo Pereira, who is a right back, he was playing right winger, and during the first 30 minutes he took 4 shots on target. Okay, and that's insane. He's going to play right wing, and I'm really concerned about him, and that is the reason I brought him into my fantasy team as well, because I saw him playing right wing. He'll play right wing, and I'm more concerned about him because he's insane. He has like we forget how great he was during last season for Leicester, and he got injured, and that was the main reason why they didn't get the top 4 spots. He got his ACL injured, so
I
he
am
being
more
back
worried
now.
about Barnes because that kid, he is on fire, and he hasn't been noticed as much because probably he plays with Leicester, but that side is weaker in terms of our defense. On the left, at least, we have Tierney. So
We have
yeah,
Bellerin.
like both the wings is like sort of a concern.
So Venkat is saying, I really hope Arsenal wins tomorrow. With
So
form they
Man
are
United
going
is
with
second.
and Leicester home record pretty average this season recently. So really hoping Arsenal to win so that Man United sit second arms.
Okay, Man United are not at all concerned about what Arsenal position is. Arsenal is like 11th. That's not going to be any change whatsoever on the league's position there.
No, I think he wants Leicester to
But
lose so that they don't come close to
But no,
us.
okay,
like
yeah, I
Leicester's
can.
recent 3 defeats have come at home. Like all the
I didn't
three
know that.
defeats which Leicester lost like recently. So it's a good opportunity for Arsenal to like get to 3 points because they want to finish at least in the Europa League.
Come on, man, don't do that.
Because I'm not considering Arsenal top 6 anymore.
No, 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 they are sixth. As I said, they are sixth. I'm being
They are
very
six.
honest.
Basanyo is saying my reels are lit. Thank you, Basanyo.
So one more thing is like Arsenal, Teta's Arsenal play more on the counter attack. They sit back more often than not, and they try to play on the counter. And Leicester do the same. So Leicester and Wardy used to hit us on the counter more often than not previously during Wenger and this guy. I forgot his name, Emery. So I think this time we won't be caught off guard, and no more Vardy goals for now, hopefully.
He is going to get a penalty, I feel, now that you've said that. I think Partey will play because he just came back in.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he is able to stop some of those counter attacks through the middle, because he looked impressive in the small spell that he played with against Benfica. So I'm just hoping this guy stays injury free now. He had a spotless record before coming to Arsenal, and he has been injured all
What
season.
happened?
I don't
Injured all
understand.
season. Yeah, that's right. He was not injured for like 3 years, and he came to Arsenal. He's like injured every week. I mean, what are they feeding at Arsenal? I don't know.
Yeah, like this one
Arsenal's
World
luck
Cup
is
player
very
that
bad.
we have, we celebrated when we got him, and he has just not played. I have not seen him play properly, apart from that one United
He
game.
didn't, no momentum. He didn't get any momentum, like no straight 3 years. So it come into his own. He's like 70% at most, I think.
Yeah.
So talking about Leicester City, they recently defeated Liverpool 3-1. Liverpool are not in that great form, but still defeating Liverpool 3-1 is quite a big thing.
That's true.
So do you think there is little bit fear in Arsenal team that can hurt them, because they haven't been consistent this season as we see?
Well, let's be honest. Let's be very honest. Arsenal's defense at the moment is way better than Liverpool's. Okay, and
I agree
the
for
fact that so and I think he will play better than Liverpool. I don't think so. Maddison is also not there. That's a plus. Let's just hope that Barnes is not into it. It does not come into his own or something. But I think we'll win. I'm sure.
Oh my God! I want that confidence.
So Rupin, like last season, how it ended? Arsenal won the FA Cup and they ended it on a good note. So everybody was hoping that Arteta in the second season will be much better. Arsenal will be much better. The defense has got much stronger. But this season, we haven't seen that great Arsenal. How much good they were like in the ending season of last season.
Yeah, it has, I think, disappointed us more than anyone. So I expected us to challenge for top 5 or 4 this season, and obviously we were fighting relegation at one point, but it's obviously not gone the way we had planned. But again, it's a little too soon still to judge Arteta completely, because like when we got this manager, we knew that he is a new person. It is his first managerial job. He is going to learn on the job, and he is going to have days where he makes absolutely ridiculous decisions. And you have to be okay with it. You just have to ensure that he learns from it and he doesn't do it the next time going forward. So yeah, for this season, I'm still giving him a free pass. Although there are some things that do concern me, like what Pepe is suddenly out of the team even though he was playing well. Martinelli is nowhere to be seen. And
his utmost faith on Willian.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So there are a certain management things that concern me a little bit about Arteta, but what I have seen so far, I'd say there are more positives than negatives still, even though we are 11th. And I'm hoping we can still salvage something out of the season, as an Arsenal fan always does at the end of it. I'm just like looking for something to end the season, to make the season worthwhile.
Talking about the Premier League, we should appreciate Manchester City, because they were somewhere close to Arsenal when the season started, and everybody was saying Manchester City are not doing good. They will not win this year. And look at them now, like almost 10 points clear on the top.
Yeah, John Stones woke up one day and he decided to turn into Prime Maldini or something.
And I think the injuries at Liverpool have played a huge part, like not just in Liverpool season but in City season, because it has given them the confidence to, like, now they know that they are the best team in the league. And they were not that great against us the other day. They had like 3 shots on target and they won one
not at all, not at all.
goal that they scored almost immediately after the whistle. So obviously they are doing great, but I think it's the other teams that have slowed down quite a bit this season.
Today
Like
as well,
United were
West
challenging
Ham.
for the title, and they are not good enough to challenge for the title right now. Like I'm being frank, I'm not even like being a mean Arsenal fan. I'm being frank. So yeah, like with Liverpool playing their midfielders in defense and
Defense.
Centre
every
backs.
other team just being weird this season, and City picking up at the right time, which Pep often does. That they deserve credit for, but I think it's a combination of them
They
doing well and other teams just not trying
actually,
against
I
them. Certain.
want to point out one thing. So when they played United, so actually, I think Pep took a leaf out of Ole's book, if I may say. So what he started doing was he started playing the double pivot that Ole more often than not he does with Fred and McTominay. So he started doing that, and after that everything has just fallen into place. After that, nothing has.
Especially Gundogan, like Gundogan, the way he performed in the recent games, like 8-9 goals in 12 games, that's insane. And that liberty to
Yeah, to
Gundogan,
think that Aguero has barely played this season and they have not been bothered at all by that. I want that kind of a bench strength at Arsenal. I don't know how many decades it's going to take. Like imagine Aubameyang or Saka getting injured.
Like you're going to say
today the
Anna,
bench of Manchester City was somewhere around 500 million.
200. No, 200. Something 200. Yeah, 500 is
Little less than 500 it was coming.
No, actually, one game you'll see. Okay, Foden is playing in the middle. Okay, the next game. Okay, let's just see who is going to play in the middle. Is it Foden? No, Raheem Sterling is playing down the middle. Okay, next game. Okay, maybe Sterling is playing. No, Torres is playing down the middle. I mean, what is happening?
Especially for fantasy managers, that team, you just can't fix it.
I have double defense. I'm very happy with that. And I mean, one of my defenders also scored a goal today, so I was really happy. But
oil money, it seems. Oil money.
Everybody has money, bro. What is oil money?
Only Arsenal is like they're not spending. Why they don't spend? I don't understand. Like why don't you sign proper players? That has been the biggest fault of Arsenal in the recent times. If you see.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with the owner. So actually, it's more like a business for Stan Kroenke. It's not something that he wants to put his heart and soul into it. It's not like he is a Roman Abramovich or something that's his own sole investment. It's like they have a big franchise in the NFL. They're like all over the globe. So
although
they're
having
just
said
business.
that, we have spent a little bit in the last few years. Aubameyang was 60 plus, Laka was 50 plus, Pepe was 72.
70.
But I think some of those investments have not been in the right area, like 35 million for Xhaka. I like him, but I don't think he's worth 35. When we could have gotten Kante for the same price. Or, even Mustafi was 35. And then not selling players correctly. Ozil, Ramsey, Sanchez, everyone has gone for a free. You can work on this model, and I hate the owners as much as everyone else does, but I think they have done slightly better in the last few years. But our management has been so bad that the self-sustainable model is just not working, where we can still, look at a team like Liverpool, which is like selling and buying players so well, and learn from them. But we haven't done that so far. And I feel it's not just about spending, it's about spending right and selling right. And the selling aspect especially is Iwobi is probably like our most expensive player ever to be sold, which is crazy. Like we have had a lot of good players. But,
we got like 36 million for Iwobi.
So Venkat is saying, I would say it's been a problem for Man United and Arsenal both, which I agree. Like being a United fan, I would say that City have spent well, Liverpool have spent well. Like the players they have got, Ruben Dias, if you see how good Ruben Dias has been for them this season. And for United, like you can see, Harry Maguire is one of the biggest examples.
No, if you'll see at the numbers, Man United's investment numbers are not that far behind from City's.
Yeah,
you can say whatever you want about oil money and whatever money, but their spend is on par with City. And there's still big difference between the two sides.
Their selling has been slightly better, I would say. But the buying has, apart from Bruno, like the recent signings have not been that good.
Like I would say, Van Bissaka and Telles are still fine. Like they are future, you can say. But Maguire spending like 80 million on Maguire and he performing like this, it's a disappointment.
I still think Maguire gets a lot of stick. He doesn't play that bad, man. I still
Yeah, I
think.
think it's just the
Maybe
price
maybe
tag.
you should see
Price
from Man
tag.
United fan perspective.
Oh no, I said in the last session as well that you guys compare him with Ruben Dias or Virgil van Dijk because of this price tag. Not everybody is going to have that impact, and that is the case with Arsenal as well. We have been compared to City and Liverpool and United, City and Liverpool basically. So we are buying players, but those players are not performing as well as like for example Dias or Van Dijk. So that is where the problem comes in. Even if you are buying players, they're not performing well. Maybe that's the luck, or I don't know. Maybe the scouting system is bad. I don't know what to
Yeah,
say.
and the players have not, especially this season with this season and last season with COVID and playing at different places. There's been these bubbles and stuff like that. I don't think players who have come in right now have had the chance to settle down properly still and understand what the league is about. But yeah, I'm hoping that like some of our signings have been good. Like Tierney is good, Gabriel is good. I don't know what's going
Partey.
on with Saliba, but it looked like a good signing. Partey, obviously, the different signing, but yeah, it's still
Partey was a great signing. Well, I mean,
yeah,
I
and
was so
just
happy with
45
that.
million for him was actually good business. Unless he remains injured like this throughout his career, I hope not. Touch wood. But as a player, he is just superb. Like the way he has control and superb in attack and defense. Even against
Just
Benfica, he made things so much better after coming on.
like he just glides
So I'm
glides between the
hoping we
lines.
have
You
him
just
for the
see, and
rest
he
of the
just
season.
glides through, glides between players and make the pass, and easy just makes it very easy. Just amazing
And
player.
with him, Xhaka also looks like a prime Vieira. He's like, spraying passes around and doing so well. And when he's playing with Elneny, it's like, which university team do you play for, man? Why are you playing like this? So he makes people around him better as well, which is
Better,
why he's even more important.
So
very
Nikhil,
important. Yeah.
Odegaard is going to play most probably tomorrow. He's going to start. I haven't seen him that much, but what do you think? Do you think he can create little bit impact on the pitch with Aubameyang being there?
I think so. I think so. He was getting better. He needs some more minutes for us to pass a judgment. Like he started the last game, but I think he needs more minutes. But the fact is, the fact still remains. We have done the same mistake which we did last time by buying on loan Denis Suarez. So what happened is they are not finished products. So we need someone, let's say that he comes in and makes immediate impact, and
Yeah.
not
If you're
someone who's
getting
just
someone on
learning.
loan.
We don't want someone just learning on the job. We already have Saka and Smith Rowe. I mean, we have people for that who will learn, who are out from academy, and you're not going to cost us like 4 million just for a 6 months loan deal. But I think he's going to perform well. If we give him more minutes.
I do agree with the financial aspect and the loan aspect of it, but in terms of just playing, I have been very impressed by him. He has like really good, I would say, vision, and there have been times where since he has just come in that he has put in a really good through ball, but the strikers haven't realized because they haven't played together a lot, and he was great against Benfica as well. He has a lot of energy. Impressed by what I've seen so far. Not going too far
Quality
ahead,
is there.
but
Definitely quality is
there is
there.
definitely some quality, and he seems to have like adjusted quickly to the pace of the league. And from whatever I have seen, it's still a very small sample size, but definitely seems to be a better loan spell than Denis Suarez already.
Definitely, yeah. Denis Suarez was a crash.
So Venkat is saying Gabriel and Ceballos are good for our team. Who's going to take
Definitely
that?
Ceballos.
Ceballos, you shouldn't talk about him right now.
What Ceballos? 2 goals was solely responsible for the 2 goals was Ceballos.
What was he
Solely.
doing with he hit like I don't even know how you
He
do
just
that.
backheaded.
Backward header.
He just backheaded the pass to a forward, opposition forward, and he gave the free kick that went in the goal.
Yeah, that was
What
also
the hell was he
just
doing?
stuck his leg out for no reason. Like it's not like there was no one else ahead, and he just had a bad game. I'm so glad.
You expect such mistakes from David Luiz, not from Tebas.
No, Ceballos likes to stick into players, but that was just his bad day, I think. He is
I
okay,
think he started
but that
quite
was
well,
just
but
his bad day.
after some time, like suddenly he went down. I don't know if Arteta is not being able to use the confidence of players or like what is happening, because not everyone is performing that great. They haven't been like your players haven't been consistent, I could say.
But Aubameyang is
Which
coming into
Arsenal
his own.
season are
That's a
you talking
plus.
about? This sounds like the last 12 years. Any season, you can say the same thing. So, yeah.
He's being
Not
asked to do a
really.
job that isn't natural to him. So
Maybe you can say
the
that
singing
because
ruler is saying that
yeah.
Sakaos is doing a job that is not natural to him.
Okay, so when Partey isn't playing, and so Xhaka's job is more like to spray balls and be just ahead of some enforcer. So maybe that's true. He has been given the task to break plays or maybe make things happen to break. I mean, but I think he's given a job that he isn't suited for. Maybe he's right. I do also think the same. Maybe when Partey plays, if Partey is playing with Xhaka and Ceballos, then maybe he can be performing more up to his potential, I think.
And I think this again comes back to the bench strength thing that we are talking about. We don't have a very good squad right now. So Arteta expects players to play in whatever position he has given them. Like be it, Saka has played in, I think he only needs to be a goalkeeper and a central defender now. He has played everything. He's played in every other position for Arsenal. So it's, I don't want to be too harsh towards Ceballos because one, he hasn't gotten consistent game time this season. And two, he doesn't make those mistakes often. It was like quite a rare instance for him. But I would say that our fans sometimes, like, I feel they overrate him a little bit, which is a difficult thing for him also to do. I feel he's a good, decent player, but not like, a midfield great that, he's going to become a crazy good player. I don't see that yet. It might come in later, but I think we need to just look at him as a utility player and not, someone who has to be in every playing 11 or, who's going to make a huge difference. I like his passion and drive and attitude, but as a player, I think he still has a long way to go and we should just let him breathe and remember that he is still here on loan and there's a reason for that.
So few people are saying hi. I just have to say hi to them. Hi Suraj Behra. Hi Aditya Avasthi. Hi Sahil Sukheja. And my name is Rishabh Tiwari. So coming to Leicester versus Arsenal,
Yeah.
we don't appreciate Leicester that much. Like they have been performing well. They have been
I
in top
appreciate
four.
Leicester a lot. I'm very afraid whenever we play them. Like more than
and
United,
they
I'm
have
afraid of.
quite young team. Like the players they have, they are quite young. They haven't been that great, and they don't have like big names apart from Vardy, Madison, and Evans along with Soyuncu and Justin. Like Justin got injured, but Justin was performing so well for them, so
Amazing.
good. Like he was in my fantasy game. I was so happy playing every
Also,
week.
yeah, that is what I was going to say. He was an FPL god. Like 4.5, he just went crazy 10 pointers all season long.
So football trolls who is saying Vardy will score. No doubt he loves bowlers.
Yes,
Well,
correct.
I'm not doubting that. To be honest, I'm expecting him to score.
We are different Arsenal this time around. He's not going to score.
So what is your prediction?
I want your confidence.
Okay, the prediction is okay. The heart is asking for a Pereira hat trick, and Arsenal going to score 4 goals, but that's not going to happen. But I think it's
I don't
2-1.
want that after Thursday, please. My heart is still recovering. Normal game.
Like maybe 2-1, 2-1 to Arsenal.
To Arsenal? Okay.
2-1 to Arsenal.
So football trolls who is saying Madison and Barnes playing like Iniesta and Xavi.
Madison is not there, so Iniesta is gone. The partnership is
Madison is
broken.
not there.
He might just show up, man. Like,
No, he's out.
No
He's
faith.
out.
No faith.
100% he's out.
Hope so.
What is your prediction?
As always, optimistic without being realistic about Arsenal predictions. 3-1, I'd say, just for, just putting it out there in the universe. But I am very worried and I'm very scared of Leicester. We always seem to get a red card there. I don't know why. I hope that doesn't happen this time. And hoping that, if Martinelli and Pepe do play, they will, push Arteta to play them, the regular first 11 also. So hoping for that. Hoping for no penalties, hoping for no weird stuff that keeps happening to Arsenal. Yeah, but I'm scared of this game. I'm not at all as confident as
always so scared of Leicester. I'm always scared of Leicester.
So I feel my heart is saying Leicester, but if Saka is not playing, then Leicester might win. But if Saka is playing, then I think Arsenal will win because the Leicester's recent home form is going to hurt them tomorrow. And I'm going with Arsenal.
So much on a 19-year-old that everyone has started taking notice now. It's just crazy.
So I'm going with Nikhil's prediction 2-1 to Arsenal.
तुम्हारे मुंह में घी की शक्कर.
Because Man United को फायदा होगा ना, so I have to see that as well.
Yeah, that's right. तुम लोगों को फायदा होगा. But still,
3-1. Oh, come on. LCFC will play better, but surely will miss Madison. So Football Plus Value is predicting 3-1 to Leicester.
Pereira is going to play right wing. He is going to score like 2 goals. You never know.
Bro, Barnes, Pereira, you have to worry about their pace too much.
Yeah, they're both very pacey. Particularly Barnes. He has been in great form. Like 1.1 million players brought him in this game week in the Fantasy Premier League.
Yeah. And Vardy along with him. I think they have a chance because the Benfica game 3-2 they scored 2 goals and Arsenal 4-3 aggregate is not like that great.
Oh God, they have Arsenal have a knack of playing that way and just punishing their friends in a way. I don't know what they're trying to do. They always do that.
I'm going to die watching the game. I'm not even exaggerating.
It was 83rd minute and it was 2-2 and they were winning on away goals
And the pole after the 3-2, oh my God, I was like, this is this team, I think they actually want to torture the fans. I don't understand. It was crazy. I'm sitting there at 2 a.m. and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Why is my blood of a football team? So, yeah. The joy of
Football is saying holding to handle Leicester City's pace, I don't think so.
Yeah, I am worried
That's
about
true. He's slow.
They are both slow.
I think Gabriel is going to play, not Holding. I don't know, but maybe Holding and Gabriel both.
I checked the predicted lineup. It was showing Lewis and Gabriel, both of them are playing.
Oh God, no Lewis, please.
I don't think they will
Against
play.
the pace of Barnes and Vardy.
It is going to be
interesting because we don't have a game until 6th of March after this. So, but we have had a Thursday game and an afternoon start in London on Sunday. So, might be interesting to see if he rotates the players or keeps the same lineup. But I think he will make a few changes, especially the regular people like Saka. Even ESR won't play, I think. Xhaka might play because he's but I think Bellerin will also be out. And probably I think both Holding and Mari will come in for Gabriel and Lewis. But I don't know.
Pepe might play. And also one more thing is Aubameyang looks to be coming into his own. He's performing well. He looked quick and sharp in the last game. So I think that's an added bonus if our star player, his captain, is performing well.
If he does start, he might start Lacazette.
Oh God, please no. I don't like Lacazette.
So, who do you want? Do you want Saka? Do you want Lacazette? Or do you want Pep along with Aubameyang?
Along with Aubameyang? Saka? In a perfect scenario, Saka. But I think Pepe is going to play. Not Willian, anyone but Willian. But
Willian, I don't know why they signed Willian, to be honest.
For his winning mentality.
Willian has been such a bad signing. He hasn't been that great. I know you got him for free, I think. But signing Willian at this age doesn't make sense. So like few signings of Arsenal has been like blown your head. Like why would you sign someone who's 33, 34 years old, and then you have players who are like quite young. You want pace, but then you don't have pace in your team. So how do you see Willian's signing?
Arteta actually wanted to bring some experience into, experience into the dressing room. Maybe the winning mentality, maybe the creativity. I don't know. I don't know what he was trying to do. But I'm never a big fan of buying older players like 30, 32, 33. Never a big fan. I just think it's a waste of money, waste of resources, and waste of space in the team. I mean, Emily Smith Rowe could have started right from the very beginning instead of him, and he could have been our own. Brilliant player he could have been, at least from till now. 25 games have been done. So he has been really, if he have started playing right from the beginning, which Willian took so many minutes out of, anything could happen.
Yeah, I do think it has obviously not worked out as a signing. They probably thought that, Premier League experience and, a proven player in the league. He had the second most goal involvements for Chelsea in the previous season, despite not playing so much. And even right now, he still has like 7-8 assists this season, despite being so, bad and whatever. But I do think that it has slightly become easy for fans to just target him now and, blame everything on, oh, he came in, that's why we lost. And that's obviously not the main thing. The problem is
made a scapegoat.
And he's just, being abused way too much. And it's just there needs to be a limit to understanding how to criticize a player. And if you're like going into his box and abusing him, then obviously his confidence is going to go down even further, and it will take him more time to get out. And he's still going to be here for 3 years now, and even if we have to sell him, he has to do a little bit better than what he's doing. So it's not been a great signing, but I'm hoping
media houses and fans need a scapegoat, and Willian has been that guy. But last game he performed well. He has not been performing well, but it's not like he is the only one who's not performing well.
So Madhav is saying he's the newest scapegoat.
But I think we need to move on past that and just look at other problems.
I'm never.
There are many.
As I said, I'm never a big fan of buying older players like 30, 32, 33.
So Madhav is saying he's the new scapegoat. Earlier it was Xhaka and Mustafi. And Football Trolls Telugu is saying, Matt Ryan, why did you sign him?
Yeah, I answered his question. Actually, we wanted a backup keeper who had a Premier League pedigree. So Martinez went to Aston Villa, and we had Runarsson, who had no experience, and maybe he was too young. And so we wanted a Premier League keeper maybe. So that is why, because every team like Chelsea and City also, if you remember that Caballero, they signed Caballero and he was very old, but they needed a Premier League experienced keeper as a backup keeper. So maybe that way.
He has been okay.
What do you think about ESR?
Oh, awesome.
Rupin.
Sorry?
ESR, the unnoticed one.
I don't think he's
Smith Rowe.
I think he's getting a lot of credit, especially after reviving our season. I think, in fact, he now needs to be a little bit out of the limelight, because I think he's taken a toll on him, and he has played way too much. For someone who hadn't played half of the season to suddenly come in and play, 7 and play, he seems tired, and he tries a lot, but I think it's time to just remember that he is also a kid. Not everyone can, cry like Saka all the time. So it's better to take him out of the limelight for a little bit. And then bring him in after a while. And I think people are like him. He is, hail and product always. Have their backs, and I feel he has justified that confidence in him. But again, he's a kid, and I feel sometimes on kids it's way too much pressure or way too much, expectations. So we just need to let them be and ignore them. Which is why for Saka also, I try not to speak for him, but he has just been so incredible.
Yeah, Saka is a star.
That guy.
There are only very few players who perform. Who has that matured for such a young age. He's like 19, and he just always picks perfect passes. Always, like 99% of the times he picks the best pass. That's crazy.
Yeah, and even against Benfica, he removed Bellerin to bring in Lacazette, and Saka was literally having the right side on his own. Like that's the amount of confidence that the manager has in him, and he delivered. So yeah, that guy Touchwood. I hope he's with us for a long, long time.
Guy's a star.
Yeah, he's a future star. That's what football will say. So maybe we should end our live here.
Definitely.
So
Note
Nikhil
that
and I
Arsenal
are
need to
going
win.
with 2-1 to Arsenal,
Yes.
and Rupen is going 3-1 to Arsenal.
I'm embarrassed about it, but I want to stick with it.
And what if Leicester City wins tomorrow? All the people who are watching our live, they are going to kill us.
I won't be surprised.
I won't be surprised as well.
Sure I am. So yeah, that one goal is coming from Vardy.
Let's hope it's an entertaining game, man.
Yeah, man. Like I don't want it to be boring.
I can win 1-0 in the most boring way possible. I just want to win the game. Like, it's just Premier League has been so bad this season, man. It's just unwatchable for us.
We're going to win. We're going to win, Rupen.
What?
Goodness.
We're going to win 2-1.
Way too much confidence for an Arsenal fan.
Wait, the football Trones is saying 2-1 to Foxes. So let's see, football Trones tell you or we are right.
The page is trolls, so I think he's probably kidding.
Nice one.
So
that's all, guys. Thank you for coming for live. I'll see you soon with next Arsenal game against the top 6. I hope Arsenal get into top 10 by then.
Hopefully. That's embarrassing to say. Top 10. That's, yeah. Let's hope for the best. Thanks, Rishabh. Thanks, Rupen.
Thank you, Rupen. Thank you, Nikhil, for coming. Thank you, everyone, for watching this live. We'll be back soon. Thank you.